Now at 5, a local business theft caught on camera. The lengths they went to steal a safe amid a growing crime trend.
What else can I change without putting my employees at risk?
Plus, one family's ongoing search for answers, a mother's plea to the community 4 years after her son's murder.
I just can't say enough what a good kid he was.
And the lingering concerns at a local clinic after someone impersonating a medical professional went on a stealing spree.
I also don't know if I'm now at risk for a break-in or a home invasion, and I just feel violated.
Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Tens of thousands of dollars were stolen from a Hillsboro restaurant on Thursday night. The suspect was hiding inside the Mad Greek Deli until after hours to commit that crime. Jake Holter went to the restaurant today and joins us live from the newsroom with those details. Jake?
Yeah, John, the owner tells me the suspect hid in the restaurant's utility closet for close to an hour before emerging to steal the safe.
He hid right in here.
Mad Greek Deli owner Jake Marks describing how someone stole from his restaurant Thursday night. The bartender and cook present at the time.
One was in the front cleaning the bar, and then my cook was in the kitchen cleaning the kitchen. They emerged from the closet, watched to see the coast was clear.
You can see in this surveillance video Marks shared with us that the suspect finds and then tries to take the safe, but is unsuccessful at first. Moments later, the suspect tries again, this time succeeding, pulling the safe up from the floor and fleeing the restaurant. Marks says the suspect made off with close to $30,000.
All that money that was stolen, I still owe to Oregon Lottery.
Not only that, Marks said this is the second time lottery money has been stolen from his restaurant in 6 months. He says this has been a pattern in the area.
And if you look around to all of these businesses that are being targeted, the one common thing is they all have lottery.
But above all, Mark says he's just glad his employees are safe.
If someone is willing to hide next to a water heater that's 200 degrees for an hour to come out while people are still in the building to take a safe from the property, there's no telling what they would do.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office says the safe was found empty in Beaverton Friday morning. We're still waiting on more information about other businesses that may have been targeted. John?
All right, Jake, thanks so much for that reporting. We're still awaiting some more details to learn more about a deadly pedestrian crash in Portland's Lloyd district. The Police Bureau's major crash team says 2 people were hit by a semi just before 3 this morning at Northeast MLK and Holiday. It was near the entrance to the Oregon Convention Center. One died on scene while the other was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The semi driver kept going but was eventually stopped in Southeast Portland. It's not clear if they were aware of the crash. Police are asking anyone with information to reach out. It's now been 4 years since a man was stabbed to death in rural Marion County. His parents are still holding out hope for answers. A suspect or suspects attacked Travis Jutton and his wife at their home on Northeast Hazel Green Road and Howell Prairie Road in August of 2021. Travis's wife Hazel survived being stabbed. Today we heard from Travis's mother. She says she hasn't heard from the sheriff's office since reaching out in June, and she adds she hasn't received an official update since last April.
It's extremely frustrating. Travis was murdered in a house that I was raised in. And I know that house very well. I know that area very well. I can tell you, no stranger walked into that house and killed my son. That just didn't happen.
Travis was only 26 years old. A $50,000 reward remains for the person who can give information that leads to an arrest and conviction. An investigation is underway in Hillsboro after a house fire sent 2 people to the hospital with serious injuries. It happened on Northeast 4th Avenue in Milne Court. That's by Evergreen Middle School. Firefighters were able to get the 2 people out less than 10 minutes after the first 911 call was made. A second crew helped to put out the fire. A Portland resident and a firefighter sent to the hospital this morning after a fire damaged 2 apartment units in Northwest Portland. Firefighters broke through windows at Northwest 23rd and Overton to help rescue a man from his second-story apartment. Portland Fire and Rescue says a firefighter injured his back during the rescue as crews carried down the unconscious man on a ladder.
Very serious fire, and this was the fire crews did a great job of getting in quick, saving that life, getting up there and in doing that search through the window and making sure that all lives were rescued and gotten out of the fire unit.
A dog and a cat did die in the fire. The man rescued by firefighters is reportedly in serious condition with burns and smoke inhalation. Portland Fire and Rescue also say the fire spread to an adjacent apartment and that another resident was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and possible smoke inhalation. Well, one thing that has been consistent so far this summer, seeing cool and cloudy days instead of those hot, sunny days we've seen over the last few summers. But things will gradually be improving over the next few days. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has more on how nice things are going to get later in the week, Joe.
And I guarantee you they will be nice, especially by Thursday and into next weekend. But don't forget the rain. We're above average in terms of rain so far this summer. But yeah, the one thing about this summer, it's been a little up and down, to say the least. Let's go out into Sherwood right now from a Chehalem tasting room camera. Temperature of 76 degrees over in wine country. Now, we'll have a ridge of high pressure start to develop over the next couple of days. With that said, we're still going to be seeing more of an onshore flow to start tomorrow morning. With the onshore flow, the increasing clouds, we'll be looking at some spotty sprinkles here and there. But as we look at the weather headlines, mostly cloudy skies overnight, mild temperatures. I'm forecasting lows dropping down into the upper 50s to low 60s. Tomorrow, morning clouds with some light pockets of some sprinkles and some drizzle. I know in my neighborhood I did see a little bit of some sprinkles earlier this morning, but late this week we get warmer. Basically from Friday and into the end of next weekend, John, we'd be looking at potentially a heat wave, but at least temperatures right around 90 degrees. As we go into the next several hours, looking into tomorrow morning, yeah, those clouds will be pretty thick. And then by the later part of the afternoon, a lot of sunshine. I'll talk more about that and also talk about just how much rain we've seen so far this summer coming up in my detailed forecast.
All right, Joe, we'll see you soon. New here at 5, a local doctor is sounding the alarm after he says a person dressed in hospital scrubs slipped into his office and stole a number of checkbooks, eventually cashing a forged check for $2,000. Now he's hoping photos of the individual will help bring them to justice. Dr. Mark LaGrasse is a pediatric cardiologist at a clinic near Legacy Emanuel in Portland. He says on August 12th around 1 p.m., two individuals came into his clinic. One was wearing a white t-shirt, the other person was in hospital scrubs.
The person in the hospital scrubs entered a door which normally is only allowed for patients and staff and started going into doctors' offices, including mine.
Dr. LaGrasse says the person was noticed by other employees, but wasn't thought to be an intruder.
She was seen by two of my staff who I think assumed she was there related to my activities, checking a pacemaker. And that person went into my office and went to my backpack and stole 3 of my checkbooks.
The two individuals then left the clinic. They were only there for a total of 7 minutes. Just 2 hours later, there was an attempt to cash a forged check totaling $2,300 from LaGrasse's checkbook. That attempt was denied. But the thieves were later able to cash a $2,000 check at a different credit union. The brazen incident has left LaGrasse fearful for his safety and the safety of his staff and patients.
I'm concerned about impersonating hospital employees, the risk of danger to my staff and the doctors and the patients and families.
He is also concerned that his home may now be broken into because the thieves have his address. LaGrasse hopes that someone can help identify who these people are and report them to Portland police before they strike again.
I think there'll be people in the community who will recognize these two and will say, hey, I know that person. So if they can, reach out.
And we have a traffic update now. That northbound stretch of Highway 217 back open today. It was originally set to open tomorrow morning. It reopened around 11 this morning with on-ramps back open at noon. Well, check this out. The Kenton Street Fair just wrapped up in North Portland. Thousands came out to enjoy live music, local restaurant food, and shop with more than 100 vendors. Organizers of the fair say they received 700 applications for just 100 available vendor slots this year. The president of the Kenton Business Association tells KGW last year more than 20,000 people attended.
I think that business neighborhoods outside of downtown often kind of get overlooked in the narrative about who to support and where to go. So bringing people from all over Portland that wouldn't normally discover Kenton, it's really fantastic.
Just supporting small businesses, I think that's the best part about living in Portland. It's so built on the small businesses that are here.
Next year, they're hoping to expand the fair by adding another block.